One, two, go.
Hello, everybody. This is Sasha Star's weekly show on Saturdays, as usual. However, today we are not on IBM TV network. Instead, we are using services of FIDE Master James Ide from Ide Foundation, who was kind enough to assist with today's program. So we are living in very interesting times. We just have completed Fisher Chess tournament. Um, I'm curious why they stopped right there. Why wouldn't they go right into Bronstein's chess? In Bronstein's chess, you have just pawns on seventh rank for black, on second rank for white, and the game starts with that the white installs any piece on any place on the first rank. Then it's a black's turn, then white until all eight pieces will have their places, and it could be symmetrical or it will not be symmetrical. It's up to the players, and only then start the actual game. Let's hear first of all Grandmaster Mikhail Marin. What's your opinion?
Well, of course, I'm a big Fisher fan, and many of the things he said, including that thing that he can beat the world champion, the Soviet world champion, by giving him the odds of 2 points. He proved that he could do that. It looked absurd in the beginning, but there is one thing I really don't like him. This random chess. I mean, the idea, because chess is so harmonious. I mean, it's like if you buy a Mercedes, let's say, and you are tuning the engine. I mean, okay, the guys knew. I mean, okay, Mercedes, they know how to produce cars. So why would you be more clever than them? And of course, the game of chess accumulated so much harmony over I don't know how many centuries of history. I don't think that only because now humans are so weak and they're just looking into the computer screen. It doesn't mean that the game is exhausted. It's
Yeah.
Okay, Ken, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I should tell you that I have advocated exactly this. So if I may share my screen. There we go. Thank you. So I am, in fact, in the website chessvariance.com, which is maintained by a fellow computer science professor in the Netherlands, Hans Bodlender, and called Baseline Chess with Fisher Rules. And it's basically the marriage of Bronstein-Benko's idea to Fisher with Fisher's castling rule and some other rules. And the idea being it's not it's nice not to be random. Now I have played two high level players with these rules. One of them I played against Hikaru Nakamura when I visited the 2007 US Open. And we played two games this way. I actually got a really good position the first game we played. He did win both. Um, and then I also played Jan Elvest when he visited SUNY's campus the same year. And Jan set up his positions with the standard setup, saying it's a good setup. And
I was thinking about this. I mean, I would surely choose the classical setup.
yeah, you could castle. The only restriction, obviously, bishops on opposite colors, king between the rooks, and maybe I would want to say you should have one rook in the corner. So that prevents you from fianchettoing both bishops. And I had an interesting interchange with someone in Sweden, I think, who showed actually that computers give lower evaluations when the bishops are in the corner, but I'm not sure I agree with evaluations that early in the game anyway. So that's my proposal, and I guess I wish I could find someone to bankroll a tournament played that way. But it's really, just a merging of Bronstein and Banker's ideas with Fisher's castling.
Okay, Jim, and what's your opinion on all that?
Well, I also admire the chess culture that has been established over the centuries. But the thing that is modern is the use of computers, and computers have distorted the opening preparation, and we see so many games that are just computer moves. Not in the old days, we used to have to come up with our own moves, and now it seems like you're not out of the book, the computer's book, until well into the game. And so I kind of favor anything that gets me playing chess as soon as possible. But I also have a problem with just completely randomized. I think there should be some criteria for setting up the board, and the Bronstein, the Benko ideas combined with the Fischer rules seems like an ideal kind of compromise, in that we can no longer play classical chess the way it used to be played because of the advent of the computers, and there's no such thing as adjournments anymore. There's and now we have the questions of can the second tell somebody else what's the preparation, and all of this stuff can be transmitted instantly, and so I just don't know. I don't know if the game is the same.
Tell me, Jim, so do you think that there is a wisdom of Carlsen refusing to play a World Chess Championship match?
Oh, I think that's entirely up to him. I was not in favor of him leaving a round robin while in progress. But as far as his not defending his title, that's always the champion's choice.
Yeah, but that there are two independent events, because
Yes.
he refused to play much well before this tournament, and then this tournament where he allegedly, after the game, what's his name?
Hans.
Hans Niemann, yes, that he said something to his ear and that nobody could hear. And what he said, I was cheating. And Carlsen was visibly upset, and that was something on his mind that
Just a moment.
he did.
Niemann whispered
Niemann.
this to somebody. To whom?
He said it to Carlsen right after the game finished.
Wow.
No, but probably this was just an irony.
No, I
What is-
haven't heard any. Did Niemann say to Carlsen, "I was cheating" after the game? I don't think he
Right
did.
after the game. I saw the picture.
Where is that documented? I have not seen that.
I saw the picture where after Carlsen resigned and Newman got close to his ear and said something. I did not hear what he said, but what many commentators said, and you can find it in internet, that he said exactly that, I was cheating, except that could be a joke.
It could be. He's a young man.
I've not heard that one. That's I am, by the way, co-teaching a course on internet and society, where several of my colleagues have unit activities on the unreliability of information from the internet and how to filter it. So this could be an object score. This entire controversy has pushed back some of my time to finish one part of my own unit. Maybe I could add this.
Well, listen, I had, when we started contests about several years ago, 6 or so, or even 7, Niemann, well, he was a teenager at the time, 14, 15 maybe, 14 probably. He was one of the players. Maybe, Mikhail, you remember him playing on Chess Stars?
Yes,
Maybe you even played him, but I'm not sure. I have to read.
I don't think I played him.
No, probably
No,
not.
but I think that this thing. Okay, let's suppose he said this to Carlsen.
Mm-hmm.
Carlsen, but I assume that there was some prehistory to this. I mean, to this obvious joke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if he was cheating, he could not say seriously, "I was cheating" to Carlsen.
No, he was joking.
So
Except
probably
if he didn't cheat, he was joking. But if he did cheat, it's
yeah,
like
no, but even so,
Dostoevsky,
no, but even so, he would say as an answer to something, because okay, Carlsen's decisions over the past time are a bit strange. I mean, announcing that he doesn't play the match after the candidates and not before. That was a bit unfair. I mean, okay, it's his right to do, but it was, and then this thing. But okay, Niemann is also, he gave this very famous statement, "Chess will speak for itself," and chess spoke for itself because in that tournament he scored 0 out of 9. He came last. I mean, okay, he's also a guy with some strange sense of humor, and maybe Carlsen had said something to the organizers earlier. I mean, when Niemann beat Mamedyarov one round earlier, uh, maybe Carlsen said something to the organizers that this guy may be cheating, and Niemann it came somehow to Niemann's ear. So probably this was just like chess speaks for itself.
This is all speculation. I mean, we
Well,
have no knowledge.
what I wanted to refer to by the time that he was recommended to me by Maxim Dlugy, the Grandmaster, American or American Russian Grandmaster, and he started to play these contests matches. Remember, Mikhail, what you played?
Yes.
So he played, but also he was playing in numerous Blitz tournaments that we have on our side. And Blitz, he was invincible. He was
Yes.
scoring close to 100%. It doesn't matter. He played some.
Yeah, but at some point he became invisible to such a degree that they closed his chess.com account, and he
Yeah,
actually
but
admitted
he's a very strong player. Can't be
no,
denied.
but he admitted that he was too strong when they
But
closed.
wait a sec. 6 years ago, I'm not so sure that he was that strong.
Right.
However,
No, he admitted that he had been cheating on the internet.
oh, so he was cheating. Anyway,
In two different moments, when he was 16 and I don't remember. So he said that he
and
was
then
cheating.
17 and also 18, 19 and so on. But let me ask you this. The cheater is a cheater. But let me ask you this. I never accused him of cheating because there were like blitz tournaments, although with the cash prizes and there was motivation for him to cheat besides facing stronger players, as he famously admitted. There was something else. The love for material rewards. Although I had grandmasters like yourself, Mikhail, and as you know, I had people like Alexei Shirov.
Oh, but I love money, by the way.
Oh, you do. And guess what? I do too, and I'm a very greedy person. So yeah, when I have my programs on investments, and when I'm explaining why I sold this calls instead of other calls, I said because there is more money, and because I'm greedy, that's why I'm selling these calls, not the other calls. So I'm talking about covered calls. So what's happened with him? That his mother came into the picture. And she said, in a view of incredible talent of my son, he has to be paid more, way more than all other participants of the contest. And I was surprised, and I said, look, I have grandmasters, quite well-known grandmasters who are playing this contest, and why do you think that your son should be paid more money? And she said something to the effect that all this grandmaster is a thing of the past. My son is a future of chess, and therefore he has to pay way much more money. And not that she was asking twice as much money or even 3 times as much money. She asked for 5 times as much money as I was paying at the time to everybody. So I said, okay, find yourself a sponsor and we'll talk. I'm not the sponsor of your son, period. And from that point on, he stopped playing on our side.
But what I happened. I didn't follow the tournament so intensively, but twice I connected, let's say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes after the start of the round, and it happened that I saw this was after Carlsen retired. And I noticed that all the games were somewhere between an opening and middle game, and the Niemann game was delayed probably because maximum 2-3 moves were played.
Mhm.
And actually, starting with this moment, he scored -2. Starting with the moment.
Well, there was a delay
But
for the tournament on the whole, if you're
but
talking about the Seafield Cup.
but of course, it could be also for other reasons because well, when you you feel this pressure that okay, the world champion kind of says that you are a cheater and people are looking at you. Of course, you cannot play normal. So it's yeah. I mean, it's either way. Actually, the headmistress this tournament doesn't matter the place, the name, and so on, and the players. But I was warned that two of the players were cheating. Actually, they had dropped together only half a point, and one of them even beat me. And
This was
and before I was playing with the second one, somebody warned me, and I told to the organizers very secretly, and they delayed that round for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Even broadcast was delayed, right?
Yes. Yes, the broadcast was delayed. Sorry. And they, if this was true, they seem to have understood. They only won one single game until the end of the tournament. Only one game together. I made a draw with my opponent then, and they only won one more game to share the win in the tournament.
Wow.
So nobody told them anything. But you understand, this is not that there was pressure on them, because nobody told them anything. I mean, okay, with Niemann, it's clear that he knows that the world champion claims he's a cheater, more or less. He didn't say it openly, but okay. But in that case, no, because they made this broadcast delay only for one round, and then they returned to the normal system.
They did. I didn't know.
But they were warned. They were warned that somebody is watching them.
Oh yes.
Okay. If this is true, it can be a coincidence. It can be that they just played very well the first part of the tournament and whatever. But no, it's very difficult to judge this Carlsen Niemann situation. I don't think I don't want to take sides. I mean, of course, Carlsen did a few strange moves over the past time. But okay, yeah. I can imagine that Niemann told him this. I was cheating. If Carlsen had said something about the game Niemann won against Mamedyarov, I mean,
I might do that at his age.
If you beat Mamedyarov by honest means, and you hear that, if you beat that guy who said that you were cheating, of course you will tell I was cheating. Of course you want him to.
It's right into your face. It's a brilliant psychological move. And so Carlsen would cry like a little baby.
And drop out of the tournament.
Fantastic play.
Well, Grandmaster Marin, I think that's a lovely idea, but I have to say I'm missing looking at a painting behind you. What's going on here? Normally I see your artist's wife showing us some painting.
Yeah, we missed it, and for some reason, with all this cheating and all this garbage,
I want to look at some art.
Beautiful works, Maria.
Yes, I could show some Marin art of a different kind. This is a book that Mikhail co-authored with Yuri Garrett, who is the secretary of the FIDE Anti-Cheating Commission, the Fair Play Commission, in Italian for the 50th anniversary of Reggio Emilia. It's a very artistically creative book, and I love some of the annotations in it. Of course, they're written in Italian.
Is it available on the New in Chess?
No. It was also translated in English by Quality Chess.
Okay. Quality Chess. Okay.
Yes, they translated it. The original version is in Italian, and it was also translated by Quality Chess.
Oh, that
maybe I can show it.
This book.
Maybe I can show just a moment.
Sasha, I just don't like this idea of taking circumstantial evidence and drawing conclusions.
No,
and I can speak some more to that if you wish. I've just been given some dispensation to say some things that I have not said in public yet. I'll wait for Mikhail first. There we go.
Ah, beautiful book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is
Brilliant.
the English version.
Yeah,
That-
Yuri is a general publisher in Italy. I mean,
That's me against Godena.
Ah,
Godena
Oh,
here. That's
beautiful.
that's Korchnoi against Tiviakov, I believe, and we have Almashi against Navarra. Almashi here against Navarra.
Mhm.
So that's this is Panioncelli, the president of the Italian Federation. I mean, okay, the guy who basically made Caruana a player.
Mhm.
I mean, from 2400, he became number 2 in the world with
Yeah,
with
it was-
Italian money. Yes.
Yeah, great career. Really great.
And okay, today I also have a painting, but it's about chess Olympiad. It's just my, I don't know, my vision of chess Olympiad and a couple of portraits.
The recent Olympiad, yes.
Yes.
And
Wonderful. Yeah. Oh,
it's a
Tandy.
little
Wow.
unusual for me, but it's just some kind of collage of some persons, and of course that how call it?
Tambi.
Tambi, and in the 3 different ways I made the portraits. It's
3 different styles,
Bukesh
yes.
and Muzichuk and
And,
Abdusatorov.
Abdusatorov.
Yes, and that
Oh,
chess
great.
bridge, and also that historical place of
the temple, temples.
And
Yes,
of course, there is Ukrainian flag.
and Ukrainian and
Yes.
Indian too.
next day
Yes, that's
every
right.
players
Yes.
I have a flag.
Mhm. Mhm.
fantastic. Well done.
Bravo.
And the organizers deserve a shout out. That was a great tournament, organizational feat. And but I don't want to steal Ken's thunder. He's got something that he's. I can see him bursting, ready to go and tell us what he's learned.
Yes,
Yes.
Ken, it's all yours now.
Okay. So that's right. So I've been given some dispensation to say this in public. This is only part of the work I do, and you realize I have a 2-stage system: the screening system and the full test system. And the full test is absolutely confidential, but there's some tension of whether my screening scores should be public. And I'm going to release some screening scores pertinent to the case of Niemann, and a definite contrast with the same scores observed for Grandmaster or ex-Grandmaster Igor Zrauzis. Okay, so let me share my screen again. And so I think this is, and I'm saying this partly because a week ago, there was a chart of U.S. performance in U.S. tournaments by the person calling himself Atlanta Kings. Oops, this is the one I want. Okay. And that chart was released with no commentary or scientific control, and it's been rebutted effectively by the U.S. Master Todd Bryant and quoted on Facebook by Steve James for that. Now, this is a post by Pornalize that was featured on America's National Public Radio this morning with Scott Simon, who did interview me 8 years ago. So what he's done is he is claiming that Niemann, in terms of points, outperformed his expectation based on the FIDE rating at the time of the game to the extreme edge of a bell curve. And if you used his current rating, live rating of 2704, then he would have underperformed his expectation. Which, by the way, I want to tell you that if you use this methodology and give Niemann a rating somewhere between about 2600, then you would be center for points. But that's not actually what I'm going to be saying. There are 2 things that need to be said. So this also addresses the point of how unusual is Niemann's rise from 2465 to now nearing 2700. So I have deployed through the entire pandemic, since November 2020, when I worked it out, with very little change, a formula. And this, by the way, is my article about it on the prominent computing weblog that I co-write. how to estimate the continuation of young players when their official ratings have been frozen during the pandemic. And not only that, right now I am monitoring the under 12, under 10, and under 8 World Cadet Championships in Batumi, Georgia, and there is still some issue with projecting those ratings, and these are players at their times of most explosive growth. So I created a very simple formula. It also involves the K factor and the whether the player is already over 2,000. And that formula has continued to be very successful clear through the Olympiad. Now, according to that formula, I would place Niemann currently at 2582 based on his rating of 2465. Okay, so more than halfway of the deficit to his current FIDE rating of 2688. But now I have a second indication. So this is what I am now revealing for the first time. So I have created a public data. So Fidelity is my public website, and data is my public data link. And I've created a new thing called Niemann. And let me show you what I have here. Okay. So these now are measurements of his performance with my raw outlier index. And I've been screening all of these tournaments every week from updates of the week of chess and the chess base, weekly chess base updates. So I took all this data without realizing that Niemann would get in the news. I do this with several chess engines. I've chosen Stockfish 11 because it was current in 2020. So there are 106 data points here, including from the Coinbase events run by chess.com, and there are several Title Tuesdays here as well. So this is mixing in-person and online chess. I'll show you the in-person chess separately. So it turns out that the median data point is this one. Okay, or actually 106 is joint median with the one below, the Title Tuesday. So the ROI index, this is the important column, and this is on a 0 to 100 scale. It's the same scale as flipping a fair coin 100 times. So the expectation is 50 and standard deviation 5. One of the rules of the bell curve is that on average about 1 in 44 of your data points will be 2 or more standard deviations above the mean. I've got 106. 44 into 106 is 2 and change, so 2 or 3 data points there. I have 3 data points above 60. And I have 1 below 40, where he's obviously not playing very well in that Coinbase event. 1 sigma, most of 68% of the data point should be between 55 and 45. And for my scroll, you can see it's also the case. And it's centered almost perfectly on 50. This is entirely normal. And the point is that I actually used my pandemic lag projections for these, but when I'm doing the week in chess, I don't get the FIDE IDs. I don't even get the full names. So I use just the FIDE ratings that are in the file. So this is, so now let me show you those tournaments. So just the OTB ROI term, it's fewer number of data points, but in particular, these are all the publicly available tournaments that he played in Europe, plus some in the US Masters. Looks like I got a duplicate, maybe with a slight difference in games there. But anyway, this data set is centered on 51.4. It's only three hops above 50. And again, it has 2 of those 3 readings, not too unusual when you have about 50-something data points. So this also, there are a lot of data points under 49, so Prague Festival Challengers. By the way, when he won the Havana Kappa Memorial Elite, so your term that I was asked about, his screening score, his performance relative to all of the computers I used for testing were below 50, except one was 51. The others were down around 46. So again, you have to be the world's most brilliant cheater to simultaneously win over the board and be 2 points under the expectation that every player rated 2637 or nearby players would have. Okay. So I said, this is entirely normal. Now let's do a little contrast. Let's look at the same. Oh, whoops. I have to make it visible via web. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. Where am I here? Right. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now let's go back here. Now we click. Now we can see it. Okay, so this was how Igor's Rouses presented himself to me. There were 24 public performances. He played in a lot of smaller tournaments in Europe that that were not in the Week in Chess or Chess Base updates. But as you can see, every single one of his ROI figures is above 50. I mean, some are in the normal range. A lot are between 50 and 60, but there's none below. This is, we have the saying from Prairie Home Companion with Garrison Keeler, where all the children are above average. Okay, now, and this is a very apt comparison because Rouses lifted himself through exactly the same region of rating from being about a 2,500 GM to getting his rating up almost up to 2,700. Okay, and he, cheated. He's confessed to cheating a little bit. Probably people believe he cheated only a little bit in these tournaments. Nevertheless, the same type of test, using the same methodology, using the current version of Stockfish at the time, because again, I just drew data points that I've been taking all along, shows a very clear difference from Niemann. Okay. Now, yes, there's a difference. Niemann is young, and Rouses, the whole surprise was that this person in his 50s was improving his game. But if you say, well, the difference is that Niemann as a young player is improving his game, well, first of all, that's exactly the point of my formula here. Second, that is to Niemann's credit in this comparison. As for why he's gained more than the 120 points my formula would project, the main reason is that Niemann already had a K factor of 10 because he had played so much chess even before that was rated by FIDE. There are a lot of young players, including some in the world under 18 that I was just monitoring, who still have similar ratings, but still have K factor 20 or 40. And with K factor of 40, then my gain would be double, and my formula would have him at 2,700.
Then he should try to write a book, My 60 Memorable Games. He played so many games that it shouldn't be too difficult for him.
Yeah, but the fact that he's played so much more chess than other young people from barnstorming around Europe, might be the reason, because what I believe I am primarily measuring with my formula is the amount of time a young player has spent improving his or her game. And one of the scientific corollaries is that time spent playing chess online in the absence of in-person chess is just as good as what Niemann did, playing all this in-person chess, well, and playing online too. Maybe that's the doubling. So.
Wow. Ken, thank you so much for your hard work. It's very, very illuminating for sure.
No, but I'm not so illuminated. I mean, mathematically, it looks very convincing. But this is not mathematics, this is chess, okay? And let's compare. Rouses played with opponents of an average of 2,100 or what?
Something like right. That. Yes.
And of course, against such opponents, even without cheating, it's easy to score such a performance 72 engine accuracy.
Yes, in my
because they don't pose you problems. I mean, of course, they drop a piece, you take it. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit. But Niemann, he has been playing with, also some weaker opponents, but his average must be, I don't know, much higher. So I don't think that this comparison proves that one of them was cheating and the other was not. No, I just say from human point of view. Okay, they caught Rouses, it was obvious somehow, but I don't think that it applies because, mathematics should also have the feet on the ground, the
Yes.
roots. But
And
I should
otherwise,
say I had 19 of Rouse's 24 performances in that chart.
yes, but his opponents were very. And okay, there was somebody who said, who told to me, because okay, Carlsen, for instance, played very badly that game. He lost against Niemann. And on another occasion, somebody told me, well, you know, against the computer or the cheaters, you always play weaker than usual.
Yeah.
And
But
against
Mikhail, this kind of reasoning has a long way to go in
and
order
against
to
weaker
rebut
opponents,
the
against
bare
the weaker-
fact that what I showed you with Niemann was entirely normal. And what I showed you with Rouse's was entirely abnormal.
Can I
But
say?
if you play with players rated 400 points below him, of course you'd play almost perfect
Yeah,
chess.
but would you exceed your performance expectation every single time?
Well,
I
so
think
I
that's
will
the
reveal that with Rouse's, with my program, it's very easy for me to do a setting saying, give me only positions against players rated 200, 300, whatever, more points lower. And there's no change in what I
Ken, would you agree that there is something else besides talking about the cheating and chess and computerized chess and so on? There is one very simple thing in life which calls a smell test.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that? A smell test.
Well,
How it smells.
well, that's one thing. See, I'm in Buffalo. I'm in my Buffalo bubble, and there's some good to that I'm not involved in the hurly-burly of chess where my determinations might be subject to bias. I mean, Niemann to me is a data point. I've never met him. I did interact with him with his coach once over a different cheating case in December 2020. But,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I just wonder how many cheaters you catch in with your programs. It's just interesting, just number. It's just like
with
I'd
the
say
pandemic,
5,000.
with the pandemic online, it was middle triple digits.
What was it?
Middle triple digits.
I thought that
didn't count.
number would be way much higher. I was thinking about 5, 6.
yes, and in the normal tournaments, it means not
Not so much.
but
Over the board,
internet.
5 to 10 cases per year come to my attention. Not every one of them clearly guilty.
I would think to organize
Thank you.
a cheaters invitational tournament. Just to invite all cheaters, pay them good prizes, and just let them play chess. What's the problem?
Normal chess.
So, Ken, do you have a database? We would send personal invitations, call it a cheaters chess championship of the world, and let them play, let them enjoy themselves.
That is a
Plus the
limitation,
computers play each
actually,
other.
that I don't have a large data bank of data from cases of cheating, even less from proved cases of cheating.
Actually, the Niemann would have to enter this tournament. He would have to prove that he is a cheater. Otherwise, will decline his.
Well, his sanctions by chess.com would qualify.
But
Okay.
talking about the smell test, I mean, okay, Rouse's case, if you analyze it by the smell, it's not all right. With Niemann, it's not clear. I mean,
Because he's younger.
no, it's not clear. But of course, I don't take
He doesn't
any
smell
side.
bad.
I think it can be either way.
But he was caught cheating twice by chess.com.
Yes.
That's what I call a smell test. The one who
Yes.
what
Right,
was there to
yeah.
discuss?
Well, that's again, you're talking about a young person online, and who's to say when I was a teenager, I couldn't play online at the time, that I might not have done something like that. So, it's hard for me to say in the future he's always guilty, because in the past he did this.
Well, that's right. In Russia, if you were convicted and you spent some years in jail, you are marked for life. You are a convicted person. You are a criminal, right? So
Well-
in chess is something different, right?
Well, I don't. I
But
just,
it shows some disponibility into that direction. I mean, it doesn't accuse him for the rest of his life, but it shows his openness to
You know what? He would do great to open for openness if he would sacrifice some of his money, what he's winning in all these Grandmaster tournaments, for chess costs, whether for developing chess countries, maybe in Africa or in Asia or somewhere else.
The
He
Eid
would then
Foundation, for
show
example.
something. Sorry?
The Eid Foundation, for example. Let me help some kids in Africa. And yeah, give me some money to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if he would send
Yeah.
you a check for $255,000,
It
then we would start talk about
Change a
something.
lot of lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another important aspect of the normality of my results from the Olympiad is that at least among each country's top players, the rating system was fairly well diffused. Okay. There was ratings from different parts of the world
Sure.
were reasonable. In other words, it's still consistent with my results that there's the variation of 50 rating points or so that was written about on ChessBase, but not more than that.
Ken, let me ask you a question. Do you think with all these recent developments in the last few years, including COVID, with all these online tournaments, Carlsen refusing to defend his title, do you think that the chess is now being split in two? One is a normal game, which was played on Olympiad, where people enjoy themselves, a team competition, it's a normalcy. And there is abnormal chess, which was being played now online.
I think it might be like running,
Oh,
Ken froze.
can
What was the question? What is the abnormal chess?
abnormal chess is it's a competition of better memory. All these grandmasters, they are turning their computers, are working 24 hours a day, and they're analyzing pretty well the same variations. And one shows that the white has a 0.86 advantage in this variation, and in another variation, there's 0.82. So obviously they're going to play 0.86, and they will play this first 15, 16 moves, computerized moves. There is no a game. Okay, it's a memory. I agree, but there's no game chess.
You know, this sounds a bit like communism. I mean, all the players have computers of similar strengths, program of similar of the same programs.
Okay.
So everybody is level, and okay, you need at some point a Carlsen who plays not computer chess to just destroy everybody, and then okay, a player like Ding, which actually I made my strategy column for ChessBase. Just finished it yesterday. And the thing what impressed me in Ding's play, okay, if you play his games over the board, he's so logical. He is maneuvering and then small combination when everything is ready. But all the first complete the development, regrouping perfectly, and only then do something. When you look at his game with the computer, you see that the evaluation goes like this. I mean, he outplays the guy, and then he suddenly throws away the whole advantage, and then some blunder. So he's not playing like a computer. But okay, now he's number 3 in the world. Let's say. I mean,
Right.
Nepo is number 2. He's number 3. Okay, actually, Carlsen retired, but okay, he's still a world champion. So you need some guys like this who just use their mind. And you cannot find. Well, I mean, okay, we talked about this random chess, and I want to talk about Kasparov. Okay, he plays sometimes this rapid and blitz in St. Louis, yes, and he also played a rapid match with Caruana, which was random chess.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, the normal chess, his rapid games. You look at the games, the first 25 moves, you understand that he's from another galaxy. He's a Gulliver in the country of Lilliputs. They cannot touch him. They are just crushed. And these are the guys who spent how many hours studying opening. And Kasparov, he has his preparation since 2005 in the springtime, yes. And he just, but after move 25, of course, he doesn't play anymore. So he starts being slow.
That's key. That's a key word. He doesn't play anymore. Because if you remember Smyslov, Korchnoi, They were
Yes.
playing all the time. That's why in the 70s,
Yes.
Reshevsky, they were
Yes.
strong players.
Korchnoi, yes.
Korchnoi was
No, but he's not playing and he's not preparing. So of course at some no, but what he knew 17 years ago, it's better than what this guy know nowadays. And then, okay, you can say okay, but his preparation was then so good. Maybe somebody's preparing for him variation. I don't know. But then he played this match with Caruana. If you look the random chess where there is no theory at all,
yes.
and you look at the rapid games, and you see that it could have been, I don't know how many games they played, 10 or what was it? You understand that from the positions after in the middle game, the score should have been something like 75% for Kasparov, if not more. He lost the match, but for the same reason. I mean, he got
Yeah, a lot of practice.
Yes, but you could understand that the guy understands the game.
Yes.
And okay, a player like Caruana, actually, when he's in bad shape, you understand that he's calculating a lot. He is remembering a lot.
Yeah.
But he has no intuition, and he's okay. I don't say that he has no intuition and understanding, but they are not at the same level.
Right. Yes. Of course, we're not.
They are not at
down.
Of course, he knows something about chess, but they are not at the same level. If he's not in good shape and he cannot calculate normally, then it's 2 classes below his. So Kasparov, yes, I mean, you take it. He's now in business and whatever. Maybe he prepares 1 week before the tournament just to, and you see the strengths of a man who has not been playing chess for 17 years.
But I would like to ask you something. I witnessed that Fischer random tournament in St. Louis. Last time it was probably not 3-4 years ago, and Kasparov was playing in this Fischer random. He didn't do that well, but much better than in the last one. But the point is, what I saw, that they had the same positions that would be in a game, and it was shown to the players, I think, 15 minutes or maybe even an hour before the game would start. So what's the point? Because now they have, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour, they have now ability to analyze position, or at least first few moves here and there. So they are trying to get away from the problem, creating a new similar problem. What is the point? Why would they do that? I don't understand it at all.
I mean, you eliminate the adjourned games and you give them an hour to prepare from this.
Yes, they would give them starting position an hour before the game, so both opponents can prepare to the game to analyze it with their second, maybe even run it through computer. I don't know what's the purpose of that. All the idea of Fischer random, in my opinion, is to get them to play real chess right from the move one.
Right from one. Yes.
You understand that players now it's like a mania. They cannot sit down on the chair to play at the board without just checking something.
So this is exactly where I started. So it's a different chess for these people who need preparation computers and all that stuff, and people who are coming to Olympiad from Fiji or from Angola or from any other places just to play the game, right?
Yes.
That's why I think that the chess is being already, thanks to world champion Carlsen, I think it's about to be split into 2 categories. One is for so-called amateurs from love, people who love chess.
Yes, but
another one for warriors who are trying to squeeze as much money by playing their computerized variation, 15, 16, 25 moves or so on, and trying to use the memory, whatever they still have, to outsmart their opponent. And it's a different kind of chess. I mean, if people love and are willing to pay money for this chess, it's going to be there. If people would like to see a real chess, that's Olympiad. That's the only place where they can see real chess. Nowhere else.
But
you're
one
touching
of the most brilliant.
Oh, go ahead. Please.
One of the most brilliant world champions, Mikhail Nehemievich, said that we are all amateurs. Precisely, precisely because it's about
You are
luck.
absolutely right.
Yes,
You
yes.
are absolutely right. And
So,
remember this famous, I was very lucky to meet both of them while they were alive, of course, and had a lot of conversations. Interestingly enough, I think in early 70s, they played very interesting match against each other.
who
They
was the
had
second one?
early 70s.
No, but Tal and who? Tal and
And Bronstein,
okay, okay.
they had 8 chessboards, one by
Yeah.
another one, and they played simultaneously 8 games against each other. Of course, 4 white, 4 black, or so on.
I know
That
one of
was
the games. It was
very
absolutely brilliant. It was something. Yes, Tal attacked, and somehow Bronstein's king was somewhere in the center, and then it turned out that actually Black was attacking or something like that. No. I vaguely remember one of those games.
Mhm.
Yes, that I
So
didn't know that this was the system, but I believe it was from there.
but that was spectacular match. I think Tal won that match, but nobody ever since done that. What
No,
comes?
they have the Bakre system in China,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
2 boards.
Two
Two
boards.
boards.
Yes.
Yeah,
Even
so it,
that would be interesting. Yeah, 8
Yeah,
boards
that's
is
fun. Yeah.
it's just difficult to comprehend. But 2 boards, one black, one white,
Yeah.
and there is no need for Armageddon and so. Actually, one more question about Armageddon in Fisher Random Chess. Uh, what is the point to believe that white has any advantage?
What's a funny point? Yeah.
Yeah, what is
yes,
exactly their advantage in random Fisher chess? I can't figure out that.
good question.
Because I think white has disadvantage because any move that white is doing, he creates a new weakness. The position is already very shaky. There are a lot of targets. And by moving something, you create just a new target.
You make it easier for black to decide what to move.
Absolutely. So black has even more ideas what to attack.
Interesting point.
So I just don't get it. I would move probably knight out and then move it back. My very next move, just to, just to create.
And you would become black.
How you fix that weakness?
Yeah.
By the way, there was a situation. There was this world championship in Mamaya, the youth world championship, and I did 3 videos, okay, commenting on a few rounds, and in round 8, there was this guy Nogerbek Kazibek from Kazakhstan, I believe he is. Yes, he was leading in the tournament. He had half a point more than his opponent, and with black he got a fantastic position. He had a clear advantage. I would think that I would win that against anybody. And it was only move something like 18 or something like that. They were not allowed to make draws before move 30. It's a popular rule nowadays. And then you know how the game continued: King H8, King H1, King G8, King G1, King. They even repeated 4 times the position, and of course it's I mean, some of them offered the draw, the others said okay, but we have to, and then they made a draw. But I said in my comments, I mean, it's not right. You are on the first place and you have an advantage. You have to play, you have to win, you have to increase your advantage in the tournament. He did this stupid thing. The next round he lost, and eventually he came only second in the tournament. Okay, tied for second, fourth. Yeah, but I mean, okay, this was about going back and forth. What you said.
Mhm.
So that was so somehow shocking. I mean, okay, come on, you are young, 14 or 16. I don't know. It was not the higher category. I mean, why would
This is
this?
dangerous.
Life is dangerous, but
Life
Really?
is dangerous.
but okay. Do I have time to show a position about going forth and
Absolutely.
back?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Let me
Exactly.
just a moment. I have to set up the position. I
While he's
think
doing
it's
that,
like
Sasha, I don't want to talk about judicial systems, but if I was a young man and I went for a joyride in somebody else's car and I got arrested for stealing a car, the rest of my life if a car was stolen, people should not look to me as the culprit. And so I think even if I was a young person, got caught doing something wrong, I should not be punished for the rest of my life for that, by being assumed to be the culprit every time the accusation flies. So
Do you
I'm
see my
giving
board?
them a doubt until proven otherwise. And I just saw some analysis that said this seems to be perfectly normal kind of rating fluctuation from this young grandmaster. So I'm skeptical.
Whose analysis? Oh, or you?
Do you see the board?
What?
No, we don't. Oh, Jim, is he capable to show the board?
I already shared.
Okay, now
There
we
you
see.
go. Yes.
Now I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so white is to. I have now 3 days to prepare for our team championship starting on Wednesday, and I'm just solving. So okay, white to move and win, and okay, of course you understand you have to go knight g1. Okay, otherwise you just lose. And now okay, there are 2 variations. This one is simpler. You just have f4, and then you are in time to stop the pawn. Now the g4 pawn is hanging. You go here, but I go here, and of course white wins. But okay, black can take. And now if you go here, he goes here. You defend your pawn because otherwise you don't win. Okay, here. Queen takes, and you cannot take on g4 without losing this pawn.
Mhm.
So okay, this was about going back and forth. So you went knight g1, king takes f2, and now the winning move is knight back to
Wow.
h3, because this doesn't waste a tempo because it's check. You have to take, and now the weakness is on h3.
Oh, yeah.
That's the point.
Pretty.
Yes, now the weakness is not on g4 anymore. Okay, you have the same position. Okay, you actually lost the tempo because it's black's move.
Yes.
But on the next move, you take the pawn on h3, and
You can't get around it.
Yes, he's by 1 tempo too slow. That's nice, no?
That's beautiful.
Is that from Niemann's game? Or what is it?
No, I have it from Dvoretsky's last. Okay, start camera.
No, who is the Noterbeck person you were referring to?
Nogerbeck, he's a young guy. He's not Nodirbek Abdusatorov. No, he's another Nogerbeck Kazibek.
Oh, Nogerbeck.
Nogerbeck, yes. Nogerbeck is the family name because Abdusatorov, Nodirbek. And Nogerbeck, I think.
Kazibek. Yes, I have him. Yes,
Okay.
Toby and.
So this is the book I'm solving from. It was published after Dvoretsky's death.
Yeah, I have 44 performances by him.
So maybe all these young players are the future of chess, and maybe they will show some spectacular games, and we will learn something with that. Because, I'm really fascinated with this tournament for cheaters. It would be interesting how there were a lot of people who wanted to play this tournament. I would probably enter just 100 players would be more than enough. But what if there will be 300-400 cheaters who want to play? How to qualify who is eligible to play and who is not? Because normally you use Ella's system, but there is no system for cheaters. How to qualify them? I would be lost, really. Ken, what do you think?
So again, I was looking up Nogerbeck.
No, I'm thinking about if you would organize tournament for cheaters.
Yeah.
And let's say only 100 places, but there are 300-400 who want to play. How you would qualify those who are eligible and who is not?
Yeah, I don't know. There's not enough people to make such a tournament.
Depends on prizes. If first prize is $50,000, I think there will be lineup of hundreds of people claiming that they're cheaters, whether they are.
You know what the good thing would be? To organize such a tournament and have half an hour broadcast delay.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Well, that would do. By the way, just to tell you that Nogerbeck Kazibek is an example of the pandemic lag pattern that I was mentioning. His rating has begun to adjust, but I probably project him up here somewhere. I could look at. I don't want to reveal where I was looking here, where I have 44 performances by him. But I can tell you that he has numerous performances under 50, even with my having to use his out of date rating. For instance, 45 at the Serbia Masters. So he's more like Neiman than Rousas, and yet he is another improving young player.
Right.
So I chose that as a spot check of what I had said.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
No, of course he's a talented player, but what disappointed me was that he put a break to himself. I mean, you're on the first place and you have a clearly better position. What do? You don't have to be Fischer for that.
Yeah.
And it's not the last round. It's not the last round. There are still 3 rounds to go after that. So of course you want to win. No, you try. I mean, okay, what's the risk?
Now, when earlier we were talking about the draw offers, I witnessed the funniest draw offer there is to it. It was in the 70s. There was a tournament. I was youngster. It was a tournament in Odessa. There were so-called Young Masters Championship in USSR, and there were Mikhail Podgaits, who was coach of Anatoly Karpov, and who was extremely strong international master. Actually, he played at Grandmaster's strength, but he never made one. And he played Viktor Kupreychik. And Viktor Kupreychik was very sharp attacking player, and Podgaits had white, and he squeezed him in a fine positional style, but he was a little bit low on time. So he asked Kupreychik, okay, I offer you a draw. And it was his move. So he is asking, okay, I offer you a draw. Kupreychik says, okay, make your move. And Podgaits says, if I will make the move, there will be no draw.
Mhm.
So Kupreychik says, okay, I agree.
Okay.
That was unique. I never seen anything like that.
No, actually, I know that Dieter Nisipanu, maybe at that point he was not a European champion yet, and not 2500.
Yeah.
But he was already very promising. I think it was after he got into the semi-final, the World Championship in
The knockout.
Yeah, he played with Podgaits in a tournament, and Podgaits just crushed him like this. And we are talking about Podgaits, who was not young at all at that moment. So I know. And Kupreychik, of course.
I saw Podgaits playing in Odessa. He was playing blitz games. And who were strong players at the time, like Tukhmakov, Albert, Valery Beim, many others. He was crushing them like it was like lightning. He was faster than them. He was better player. He was winning almost 10-0, and nobody could touch him in blitz games. So, however, yeah, he should have been Grandmasters a long time ago, and he was, I think, one of the prize winners in 2 USSR chess championships. But he never made it really to what he deserved, what he should. But he did very fine as a coach of Anatoly Karpov, and he did extremely well. And what's interesting thing is that when Nava and I left Odessa and we went to Italy and then Canada, Mikhail Podgaits inherited our apartment. Because Nava was at that time, she was in a chess in the army, in the Soviet army. Like she was a chess professional, so she was in the army. She was getting stipend and so on. And Mikhail Podgaits was there as well. So when we vacated our apartment, so Mikhail Podgaits moved there. And yeah, I met him in New York during the last Kasparov match. And we talked to each other, and he said that he lived there for many years. And then he got a better apartment but on outskirts of Odessa somewhere. What's the name of the district? But anyway, it was fine memories. Listen, I would like to thank all of you for participating in today's program. James, thanks a lot for solving our problem very efficiently. And we are going to meet next Saturday and we'll resume.
By the way, we are going to be at the team championship, so
Yeah.
we'll skip the next.
I
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Well, then we'll all skip next Saturday, and we'll resume 2 weeks later. Okay.
Thank you so much again for the invitation. It's
Thank
it's
you.
always a
Thank you
pleasure.
very much,
My
too. This was
pleasure. Thank you, all of them.
nice.
Let us show once again our
One more
Amore.
photo picture. Yes.
Amore.
amore.
Oh, there,
Amore.
wonderful. Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have been seeing parts of it.
Walking back and forth. Yes.
Right. That's right. Okay.
That's what cats do.
Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening and have a wonderful week, or 2 weeks actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
We'll get
you.
together.
All right.
Wish me luck at the championship. I'm playing on the
Oh,
top
yes.
board, and
Oh, really?
Definitely.
You'll have some beautiful games there. So
some of the names are Anand, Rapport, Gukesh.
Oh,
I don't remember who the others are, but okay, this is
heavyweights.
it's enough for a list. Yeah.
Mhm.
Heavyweights. Okay. Good luck to you, of
Yes.
course.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
sharing that
much.
analysis, Ken.
Bye bye.
Okay. Sure thing. Yep.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
I'm going to end the broadcast now.